The time when I really felt what I would consider to be bliss was in 1958 at Myrtle Beach at the center. Before that time, that is before I had a personal interview with Baba, it seemed as though everyone was being sent for or being interviewed, and I had recalled the many letters that I had sent to Baba, and I considered him to be the most important part of my life, or the only real part of my life. And here I was at the center, Baba was there, and to me it seemed as though he was oblivious of my existence. So I was in my hotel room or motel room, and this presented an enormous conflict. That someone who was the most important person in the world for me was paying no attention to me. And I couldn't avoid facing this conflict. And finally, I realized that Meher Baba was God in human form. And as God in human form, it was his will not to see me. And since it was God's will not to see me, it should also be my will. And as soon as I realized this, I didn't want to see Baba. And a great weight lifted off of me, and I was very, very happy. At that time, I didn't care whether he sent for me or not, because if he didn't send for me, that was his will. And it was within a very short time, a matter of minutes, I think, Keisha and I were sent for. And this time, when I went in, I didn't, other than whispering something to him, say anything. Keisha did all of the talking. I remember sitting at his feet, and I had this compulsive, I remembered sitting at Baba's feet, and I had this compulsion to rub his feet constantly. I did so continuously, and occasionally I would rub from his knee down, I believe it was his left leg, but I kept massaging his feet. And nothing in the world mattered at all. I had no interest in asking any questions. Everything seemed irrelevant. It was the most blissful moment I've ever experienced. It was so real. There was no past, no future, just right now, what was being experienced. This is the way I see it on looking back. And Baba said some various things to both of us. One of the things I do remember, he asked Keisha, "Whom do you love more, Henry or me?" And Keisha immediately replied, "It is because of you that I'm able to love Henry." And I seem to remember Baba raising himself up from his seat, making that circle of perfection that he always used. And he reached forward and gathered Keisha up into his warm embrace. He seemed very pleased with her reply. After Baba dropped his body, I'm afraid that what was all too recurring in my thoughts could be paraphrased by the line from Begin the Begin, the chance that was wasted. I felt much more strongly than I had ever felt before what had been among us, and how much time I had wasted. But then the words from the same song also have allow a positive movement forward. Whatever time may have been wasted in the past, as a result of the new dispensation, one could take advantage of the present